Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
Listen, you... No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
It doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that all right?
As you wish, Miss Recoleta. It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies. Please be sure to follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
Just as I suspected. These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please. Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet. These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. The die has placed them in your palm.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind señorita.
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
No, I'm the one who needs the most. Give me the medication. I beg of you. With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
Enough! Enough! You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta. Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival. We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities. If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair. It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
The Die of Babylon? Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing? ¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? ¿Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Let go of me, Mr. Coletta! Have you gone mad? The role of the die is absolutely random. I'm not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth. Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon. The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him, just as we suspected. I see. Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
What if we present you with stronger evidence to prove it's more than just a coincidence? If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoleta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next, including the roll results of the absolutely random die. That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, and an actor of the inescapable loop of history, and not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. Ugh, to hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers. Miss Recoleta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll. This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity. You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit! Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmate perform their role. Then Miss Recoleta's statement will be proven true.
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Comala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoleta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please. Hello, inmate Garcia. You know what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad. So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
As fate reveals, the number is 6.
Just as Miss Recoleta predicted.
That could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin. La 4ª cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del lago. La 17ª cara cojeaba hacia el distante oasis, solo para que la débil humedad y la inquietante quietud revelaran cruelmente que era un espejismo. La 6ª cara, otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última, confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular. Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible. Who are you?
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia. Now it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet? Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world? What is this thing in my hand? What are we? What is this prison?
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician, not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means. The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recoleta, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
It worked, didn't it?
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
En la sexta versión de mi novela, todos en el pueblo mueren a causa del dado de Babilonia. Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia. Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad? Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de dunas son la misma persona. If all of this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
What's going on?
Miss Erd, please, Julio needs your help. I don't want him to die.
Please, Miss Octavia, help me so I can help him.
Mr. Julio is gone. He left us the moment the duel was over. A life is taken, and that's all you have to say? ridiculous, laughable man you are. I've had enough of your condescending stone-herd ego and your pompous sophistry. He'll only bring misfortune upon us with his constant rambling about that visceral realism. Only the physician, the true overseer of this prison, can save us from this situation. Please join our society, Miss Torres.
Forgive me, Miss Octavia. While I truly appreciate your kind offer, I'm afraid my conversation with the physician must remain private.
Why? Yes.
I've had such a lovely time here. So much so that I almost forgot what I came for. That inescapable gaze, and the permanent theme of fate. You've decided to save the people here with your own hands, in your own way, and so have I. There are things I must face alone.
Lend me your palm. I'll draw you the way to his office. Good luck to you. And to all of us.
Farewell, Miss Octavia. I truly hope all goes well for you in the days ahead. And in your journey, finding answers about fate, too.
Wait here a moment. I'll report the situation and your request to Dr. Merlin. However, since he's always busy, I can't guarantee he'll agree to meet you, but I'll do my best to persuade him.
Now's our chance, Sonetto.
Our chance? What do you mean, Timekeeper?
It's unlikely that the jailer will let us search the central tower, even in this situation. We should take the initiative and look for clues while she's away.
I see Easy, Timekeeper. I will do my best.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Recoleta. Without your precise predictions, we wouldn't be standing here now. I haven't yet grasped the connection between the die, your novel, and what's happening in this place. But by process of elimination, it's almost certain that your pen pal, Aleph, is right behind this door.
Sometimes I envy your decisiveness, Vertin. I'm sure many people have praised this special talent of yours.
Are you all right? You don't seem as excited as when we first entered Kamala.
The all-seeing sentinel of the Panopticon, veiled within the central tower. If it truly is Aleph, I don't know how to face such a terrifying and increasingly plausible reality.
Sorry to interrupt, but... Timekeeper, I think you'll want to see these.
Signed Erd. This is a letter from Dr. Dorez.
Her handwriting, it's as beautiful as I'd imagined. Who is it addressed to? Dear Mr. Aleph. Aleph?
Looks like Dorez and Aleph are acquaintances. Or at least, they've had some correspondence. Dear Mr. Aleph, my apologies if this reaches you at an inconvenient time. I am Dorez, pen name Erd, an ordinary inmate of the Panopticon of Kamala. I write seeking your guidance, if you wouldn't mind offering it to me. I heard from the physician, Dr. Merlin, that
you have the answer to every question. A statement which has been echoed by the idealist and the other inmates. I have something I wish to ask you. What exactly is your role at the prison? Chief Warden? A secret backer? An observer who dominates the prison? Are you truly the supreme ruler of the Panopticon of Kamala?
Dear Erd, I do indeed have answers for every question, including yours. I'm afraid every one of your speculations is off the mark. I am merely an inmate who chose to imprison himself here. And allow me to point out that your identity isn't as ordinary as you claim. Why is it that you, my fellow inmate and guest of Manus Vindictae, are so interested in Kamala?
Dr. Dorez, a guest of Manus Vindictae.
It came from inside the room. Do you think they're okay?
The jailer and the physician! What happened?
I'm not sure, but it could be bad. Come on, let's go in and see if they're all right. It seems we've stumbled upon the physician's...
The physician's office. I should have known. But... is this an operating room? As if this prison wasn't bizarre enough already.
Didn't I tell you to wait outside? What do you think you're doing barging in like this?
We were just worried about your safety, jailer.
Enough. Get out of...
Quiet.
The reptilian complex governs all our fundamental functions. Our heartbeat, breathing, fight or flight responses, and our territory and hierarchy awareness. Our primitive ancestors, like reptiles and birds, followed such instincts to survive. Through millions of years of evolution, we developed the limbic system. This processes emotions and forms memories. It allows us to feel fear, sadness, anger, joy. Our behaviors are given meaning. Now it's the neocortex that makes up more than 2/3 of our total brain volume. Language, perception, logical reasoning, abstract thought. This is what forms the complexity of human nature. We read, create, perceive. We try to understand both the world and ourselves. We are forever setting goals, one after another. And all this, these multitudes, happens within the confines of the skull, in the tight folds of the crowded cerebral cortex.
Is he performing surgery?
Such a delicate and elaborate organ. Were it unable to forget, what would come of it? Can this space, no larger than the palm of my hand, truly accommodate dozens of people at once?
What's happened to the patient? It looks like he's dying. ¿Fracasó la cirugía?
Nonsense. The surgery was a tremendous success. I have erased his debilitating hysteria and restored order to the Panopticon. What are you trying to achieve by barging in here? Forget it. The next operation requires my attention. Jailer, show them out. Bring me the next patient in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss Burton. I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Please, just let us speak with you. It'll only take a moment. I have something very important I need to ask.
Important? Nothing is of greater importance than my experiments in the Panopticon, outsiders. To ensure they continue, the stability of time and schedule is absolutely paramount.
Experiments in the Panopticon. So you really are the controller of the prison, then?
Controller? What an outdated notion. Superficial, really. The Panopticon has no need for such power, regardless of who occupies the central tower, or even if no one's there at all. Every inmate is both the observer and the observed, both wielders and subjects of power. Achieving such a state requires no physical or violent measures. The structure of the Panopticon itself is the mechanism which sustains it. Comala is simply a manifestation of this model. Once I confirm its feasibility and adaptability, this model can be applied to any functional setting with only minor modifications. So far, it has proven to be far superior to any current system of governance in our world, transcendental even. Curse it. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Time is running out.
Dr. Merlin, you keep mentioning time. What exactly do you mean by that?
Really? You need to ask? Even those oily-headed lunatics know it. The end of this era is imminent, is it not?
you know about the storm?
That's what you call it, is it? A storm that washes everything away? You employees of the St. Pavlov Foundation should know better than I. Soon, this era and everything in it will cease to exist. I must prove the feasibility of the Panopticon model before this place is turned to ruins, or something even more unrecognizable.
A storm that washes everything away? Burton, what on earth are you two talking about?
No one can predict the era to which we will be reversed. I have seen the eras change time and time again. The transformation of this place, over and over. But no matter which era each of these 9 storms, as you call them, has taken us back to, Cordeismo continues to plague this land. Dependency theorists, martyred revolutionists, I've seen them all. You, young writer, are no different from those intellectuals who were swept away in the rain. There is no romance in this era, only the repeated cycles of madness and brutality, an endless, meaningless struggle. Only in this forgotten corner can we momentarily escape the plundering of the marauders and the chaos they unleash. Although it won't be long before this place is looted by those oily-headed lunatics. Just as it has countless times before on this land as rich as silver. But there is still hope. Even in a wasteland, we may still be saved. As long as I uncover the path to transcendentality, I will find the ultimate answer. Ugh, I've already wasted far too much time on you. Leave, now.
You heard him. Please don't press things any further.
All right, Senor, I get it. Obviously, you don't want to discuss my novel with me anymore, so I won't insist upon it. All the letters we wrote to one another, all those inspiring revisions and suggestions, I guess they meant nothing to you. But there's still something I must tell you. Jailer, could you please allow us a private conversation with the No. With Aleph.
Leave us, jailer. I'll spare these outsiders 5 minutes.
Dr. Merlin, or should I say Aleph, I don't know why you're using my novel to manipulate the Panopticon. But you need to know that it won't serve your purpose, whether in fiction or reality. You claim that the inmates are both the observer and the observed, and both wielders and subjects of power. How could you be so blind as to not see the true state of the Panopticon? The inmates haven't achieved any perfect order. No, they've devolved into pitiful caricatures of themselves, performers in some endless pantomime to be watched from the central tower. Even their medication has become a prop to demonstrate the so-called randomness of fate in the theater that is the Panopticon. This farce hasn't made the Panopticon a better place. No, it has warped it into a twisted theater of cruelty where the sick are denied treatment and left to quietly perish in the dark corners of its halls. And literature has died alongside them. This prison is a monster, born under the gaze of this all-seeing power. Aleph, is this truly the ultimate answer you've been searching for?
What? Are you suggesting that this is the answer I've reached? That my experiment has been a failure all along, and I've been too blind to see it? No, impossible. Foucault's theory is flawless. I have removed every obstacle to the running of this prison. It is pure, sacrosanct. I have constantly re-evaluated the system, adjusting my instructions to my subordinates to ensure the most efficient maintenance of the established order. And now, you stand here and tell me that everything I've done has been meaningless from the very beginning? That the power model I have implemented has already been replaced by an alternative? No, outsiders. The perfect order of the Panopticon shall not be disrupted. I will not be swayed by your lies. This facility is superior to all others. Nothing here escapes my notice. That said, it isn't easy to work a miracle, as we all know. I shall personally verify it, all myself.
What's happening?
Visitors from another era. You have come here with plagued ideologies in an attempt to break the subtle balance of the Panopticon. But did you not notice the tiles beneath your feet? The cracks and water stains on the walls, constantly changing right before your eyes. This room, the previous room, every room, you have blindly wandered through them, seeing them as nothing more than the building blocks of a monotonous labyrinth. But this place was not born from the chaotic imaginings of a madman. No, every inch has been crafted through the meticulous harnessing of order and power. Every wisp of spider silk drifting in the wind, every speck of rust on the gallery rail. Every detail of the Panopticon has been built by my own hands. With this ever-shifting die, concepts may be transformed into reality, and ideals into substance. I observe the movement of every entity, the passage of every second. The moment you entered this realm, you too became subjects of my experiment.
Who ate beans?
Admit it. This is all getting out of hand.
Impossible! All is under the Dai's control. What may appear to be chaos is nothing more than a temporary deviation.
A good charging.
No other study could show you this.
Target confirmed.
And
Loading.
a good point. The benefits of field mapping.
Eliminate target.
Confirm the coordinates. Don't touch the device.
Under attack.
And a good point. No other study could show you this.
Are you irrational numbers?
Behold.
It's special, precise, perfect.
It is far from perfect. You know that as well as I. Why else would we be conducting this experiment?
Using troops?
This happened when the Idealist was attacked too.
To think we've been trapped in a prison fabricated by a Dai all this time. Did the physician really build all this with such a small, simple object?
The distortion is getting worse. Prepare yourselves to fight or flee.
Please, Dr. Merlin, stop this.
No. You're asking for the impossible. Power model of the Panopticon is destined to permeate all of society. Such insignificant interferences could never plunge it into chaos.
But it already has, Merlin. You failed.
I have not failed, and as long as I keep the prison running,
It isn't your power model running the prison. It's the Dai. It's simply a form of magic, unrelated to the microphysics of power you seek. It provides no aid in your experimentation with power. It's a false hope, a castle in the sky given to you by the military junta and Manus Vindictae.
Manus Vindictae? So you really are working with them. What exactly do you intend to do?
Then I've also failed. I've ended up a pathetic fool, lost in the chaos of reality. Just like the idealist chasing visceral realism, Paracelsus seeking the fountain of youth, and Zahir obsessing over the one-sided coin. When did it all start falling apart, Alan? When the doorknob loosened? When the prisoner's wounds started to fester? Or when the daily disinfectant concentration reached 28 milligrams? Or the crack in the second gray brick on the wall expanded to 6 millimeters? Or was it when Warden Tartuffe left Ushuaia with news of the Foucault Association's dissolution? This place should have been the ideal ground for psychoanalytic practice. Why did they halt all research, all discussion? We've been abandoned, haven't we? By eras old and new. You designed and have maintained everything in Kamala, right down to the smallest of details. But it is these details that trap you. And as the bars close around you, you are losing your name, Merlin. And you're becoming the physician, a man forever imprisoned in these walls. I don't understand. All these false eras are like a dreadful novel with no conclusion. Trying to find answers within such things is, in itself, a mistake. Much like them, you are destined never to attain transcendentality. Tell me, Olive, does the ultimate answer even exist?
Timekeeper, are you alright?
Yes. And you? And Miss Recoleta? Are you okay? Miss Recoleta? You're...
The word utopia derives from Greek. It means no place. People cannot understand the structure of the labyrinth, yet they continue to follow its paths. They cannot comprehend the mechanics of fate, yet they believe in its jurisdiction. As if, by doing so, everything will naturally fall into place. And now, the polar night approaches. How good it is to see you, pen pal.
Where did the physician go? Wait. Sir? Are you... Olaf? It's you. My pen pal. You are, in fact, in Comala. All those letters, all the ideas we shared, they weren't just my imagination or some prank. Vertin, Soneto, it's all just as I told you. They weren't meaningless. They're all real. So, sir, are you Aleph, the ruler of this prison? Are you the one controlling the Panopticon with the die? The one hiding Miss Dores's whereabouts?
What curious inquiries. Quite different from the last 2,666 questions I've received. My guests, you may call me Aleph, or by any other name, be it a symbol of God's oneness or a farcical epithet. I am merely one of the many prisoners who voluntarily reside here, a single letter in the alphabet of the Panopticon.
A letter? The way you speak is quite different from Dr. Merlin. Still, I wonder what your relationship is with him. But allow me to make a guess. You're Dr. Merlin, aren't you?
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate, but you may think of it that way. Merlin is a figment born of my mind, an incomplete reenactment. He is me, yes, but not entirely. He, or rather they, failed to find their answers. They fought against their predestined fates, only to be inevitably crushed under their weight. I simply stood by and watched it all unfold. That was the extent of our relationship.
They?
You've already met Merlin and the Idealist, even witnessed their demise. Shackled by the delusions of verses, the Idealist lost his own name. Merlin, too, imprisoned himself within the system of the Panopticon. I'm sure their desperate pursuits caused you some trouble. Please forgive them. After all, your fleeting encounters led to the demise of them both.
I think I understand now. The Idealist and the Physician are both parts of you. Or, to put it another way, they're your alter egos.
The Physician mentioned Manus Vindictae. What's the relationship between this prison and the Manus?
Visitors from the Foundation. We all witnessed those eras perish. In 1977, not long before the fourth storm, I arrived in Ushuaia. Shortly after, some members of the National Foucault Studies Association reached out to me. But it wasn't just them. An arcanist organization called Manus Vindictae also approached me. Each of them wanted answers. They named me their advisor.
You acted as an advisor to the Manus?
The two parties presented me with a concept and a parable, respectively.
A concept and a parable?
The Foucault Association sought to explore the feasibility of the Panopticon concept here, while Manus Vindictae showed me a parable of the past and future. Day and night, I wandered through endless texts, endless realities, as I searched for answers. And thus, Merlin was born. He was both an experiment and a price I paid. A new concept, a new direction. Pursuing such things always leaves me confined by the limitations of human knowledge. Merlin spent his entire life exploring Foucault's theories in pursuit of that singular yet infinite answer.
What about the Manus, Mr. Aleph? You didn't explain why you helped them.
Explain why? Because they asked me to, just as you have. I simply worked to answer their questions.
So you're saying that, to you, we are no different from Manus Vindictae? And if we ask, you'll answer us, without holding anything back?
Is that not precisely what is happening this very moment? This is what the Manus gave Merlin. A magical die named the Tear of Comala. It was once a gemstone that belonged to a god. At the beginning of the century, explorers plucked it from an ancient gate they discovered in Antarctica. To the explorers' amazement, the gemstone could turn human desires into reality. So they cut it into a die, a symbol of fate, and used it to build a sanatorium, which was later transformed into the panopticon you are standing in right now.
Then, Aleph, you really are the mastermind behind the panopticon? You said Merlin used the panopticon to seek his answer. What does that have to do with my novel? I don't get it, Aleph. Why would you use my novel to manipulate this place? Roberta, Garcia, Octavia, Pablo, the jailer, everyone. Not one of them deserved to be trapped in a deadly loop in which everyone's fate is already predestined. They're just like the ghosts in Amalfitano, inescapably trapped within the ruins. Tell me, what is it you really want?
It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. The third line of your first letter. You said you wanted to give the rise and fall of sanity an ending.
Los registros históricos del Dado de Babilonia aún se pueden encontrar en la biblioteca de la Universidad Santa Teresa. No. Una apertura como esta haría la historia demasiado ambigua. En 1975, en el pueblo de Amalfitano, Sonora, México, ocurrió algo terrible y escalofriante en la cabaña con el techo azul. Todo comenzó con las costumbres peculiares de los Espera, ¿cómo supe todo esto? Necesito agregar un ro para el narrador. El cuentacuentos. Un poeta surrealista de México me contó esta historia. Una anciana entró en el bar
al que solía ir en el pueblo. Al mismo tiempo,
El empleado del banco también entró al bar trayendo la noticia de que una corporación multinacional iba a construir una fábrica de jabón de galletas en Amalfitano.
espera, empleado del banco. No sabía que había bancos en Amalfitano. Pero sí, tiene sentido. Los bancos comerciales son, sin duda, un sello del capitalismo. Gracias, amigo por correspondencia. Antes de convertirse en empleado del banco, era un defensor de las antiguas costumbres del pueblo. Era un pescador de dunas.
Después de aceptar el destino otorgado por el dado de Babilonia, eligió dejar todo atrás. El triste y aterrador pueblo y los ciclos ocultos dentro de la infinita aleatoriedad.
Oh, qué irónico. Pero también es realista. Ahora solo necesitamos un personaje contrastante. Un creyente en el destino. Una anciana tejedora se sentó en su antiguo taller, girando incansablemente su rueca, un regalo precioso, otorgado por el dado de Babilonia.
La tejedora ciega relató suavemente todo lo que había vivido.
¡Qué idea brillante, Aleph! Una tejedora ciega no podría haber presenciado el asesinato. ¡Fantástico! En ese caso, agregaré a un conductor de burros que es asesinado en este capítulo. Con cada una de tus sugerencias, la historia da un paso adelante. Gracias, Aleph. Pero todavía no veo ninguna señal del final. Es como si no importara cuántos personajes nuevos agreguemos. Todavía falta algo en el pueblo desértico. Le falta una figura clave. Aleph, ¿qué debo hacer? ¿Cómo le doy un final a esta historia?
Tú misma me preguntaste, ¿cómo le doy un final a esta historia? Me describiste cómo tus palabras se habían transformado en un rompecabezas desmesurado infinito, un lenguaje irreconocible, una colección de información ambigua y una parábola que había perdido todo su significado. La ausencia de un final aún te roe, atrapándote para siempre en ese abrasador pueblo desértico. Todo lo que estoy haciendo es intentar encontrarlo para ti.
¿Estás diciendo que has estado manipulando los acontecimientos en el panóptico desde que intercambiamos cartas por primera vez septiembre pasado?
Sí, cada vez que revisabas la novela, se hacían ajustes correspondientes en el panóptico. Reflejar fielmente las complejidades de cada detalle era clave para asegurar que la historia avanzara sin problemas. Estos ajustes los manejaba principalmente Merlin, a veces el idealista, y antes de ellos, Zahir y Paracelso.
¿Cada vez?
6 versiones de la historia del Amalfitano ya se han desarrollado en el panóptico.
Eso significa la rana aplastada en el barro, la vaca muriendo de vieja, el lirón cayendo al mar, el fantasma asesinado en el duelo y los cambios repentinos al dado de Babilonia. Todas las revisiones que sugeriste, todas las muertes, el caos y la locura, ¿realmente sucedieron aquí mismo?
incluso la eternidad tiene sus límites, Recoleta. In the 6th revision, we added the Blind Weaver, an extraordinary figure. Just like the paracausality researcher who carries a suitcase that you introduced in your 7th letter.
The paracausality researcher carrying a suitcase. Miss Recoleta, is this character really based on the Timekeeper?
What? Of course not. The paracausality researcher is an entirely different character.
Don't you understand? We're only one die roll away from the ending.
I don't. What on earth are you trying to do?
Recoleta, it is the cycle of fate that has brought you to the Panopticon of Comala in Ushuaia. Now, return to the rise and fall of sanity. Return and become a character once more. You've been searching for its ending, but how could you possibly find it when you're no longer inside the story? I believe that this time, you will witness the grand finale with your own 2 eyes. No more sadness. No more loneliness. The answer you've long sought lies in the inevitable final row of the die.
So, the jailer is the bank clerk, and Erd is the blind weaver. But what about Roberta, Garcia, and Octavia? They weren't even assigned roles. They were just playthings, helpless in the face of fate. What right do you or I have to decide what happens to them? To dictate their gains and losses?
But they couldn't possibly understand such a thing, could they? To you, it's just a story. But to them, it is the manifestation of bittersweet destiny.
Do you think hiding behind the guise of fiction absolves you from the reality that you've turned the Panopticon into a living hell? Yes. You're the only one who truly understands the rise and fall of sanity. Goodness knows how many manuscripts I sent out that never received a reply. I was so grateful to you for your replies, for understanding my novel. Those things were more precious to me than any sunrise over the Andes. Had I known that your feedback was created in such a way, and at such a cost, I would have preferred not to receive it at all. Don't you get it? Even if they don't understand my novel, the people I meet are still my friends. Whether we took a long journey together, or we simply chatted for a few hours. We formed an inseparable, miraculous bond. They're a part of me. How could you treat them like fictional characters? It's disrespectful to my work, and to life itself.
But you raised the question yourself. Why do you resist receiving its answer?
They're always like this, aren't they? They throw a question at you, only to abandon it along with the fading of the era. storm will spare no one. You've known it all along, Alice. Only the timeless Panopticon can maintain control. The all-seeing tower. The perfect governing system. What a hopeless fool you are, Merlin. Haven't you heard what they say? There is no need to build a labyrinth when the whole world already is one. Your meaningless questions will be swept away by the tides of time, only to resurface on the shores of our minds once more. We've seen it happen over and over again. Surely you've realized by now that the only true meaning can be found in literature. For over a century, literature has remained the singular, ultimate answer. This lonely cowboy is simply feeling lost at the moment. Spare us your rambling, my king. You're wasting our time.
Enough.
Aleph seems to be in a terrible state. We have to be careful. Something isn't right about that die.
Keep the sample.
Go ahead. Keep the story going. Carry it through until we finally feel the sweet gratification of the ending. Your endeavors are doomed to fail. There's only madness in literature and art, not transcendentality.
A new hypothesis.
Más allá en todo could be found. En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
Taking another look.
Cosmología, filosofía clásica, nuestro aliado es la verdad. Time to check my calculation. Not a fan of my work, I take it. El camino más allá del concepto.
A new hypothesis.
En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
The benefits of field mapping.
Nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
Target confirmed.
Behold.
Bien.
A good point. Taking another look.
Idealismo, pueblos de
Calculating
fantasía, patrones ocultos.
Confirm the coordinates.
Es a bubble.
An academic.
Más allá en todo target. It could be found.
Limited scale, infinite lines. Behold.
Do I have to do this? A truly villainous moment. Intersect and divide.
Don't touch the device.
The final frequency for me.
A good point.
It could be found. Welcome to the world of numbers.
Robot, child of science.
These explorations, these fractures, they're all failures, aren't they? In this infinite expanse, I feel nothing but infinite sorrow.
Victory? Okay, but what does it mean to us? I mean, what does Wait! Mr. Olive? Are you human? Please hand over the die peacefully.
Mr. Aleph, please stop resisting. It's futile.
Futile. Yes, it's all futile. The cage of rules, the ideals of literature, both are futile. Mere illusions conjured along the path to transcendentality. They all fear that they're nothing more than phantoms in someone else's dream. That reality will devour everything, including their very existence. That's why they drift further away from transcendentality. They couldn't break free from that false dream. None of them could. Both the physician and the idealist walked toward their own destruction, just as I expected. But your novel still has hope, Recoleta. Its ending hasn't been written yet. We cannot deny that it may be the answer to achieving transcendentality.
You're not going to stop, are you? Not until you get your answer. Sinetto, we have no choice but to seize the die from him by force.
Enough. I said enough!
I'm afraid we can't publish your novel in its current state, Recoleta. We look forward to seeing more refined work from you in the future. Ah, Senor Cruz! What a pleasure to see you here. I'm an editor from the Naranja Dulce publishing house. Could you spare a moment to discuss the copyright for The Bluebird? We're huge fans of your children's literature.
Hey, relax, Recoleta. Look at all the books around you. This place is heaven. You can't get down on yourself. Not here. There's so many writers and publishers here. It's only natural you'd be turned down 17 times. This is just the beginning. Now, which section should I visit next? Oh, this brochure might help. Estupendo. An exchange of ideas between writers. Nothing could be more incredible than that. I recall James Joyce was inspired by a letter he received from Henrik Ibsen. So, maybe what I need is to find someone to share my manuscript with. But who? Tadeo Emasums.
Aleph. Averroes. Oh, it's you, senor. Don't worry. I promise I'll catch up on the rent next month. Although I must say, this apartment's hardly worth the price. The cracks on the walls must date back to the last century.
Make all the excuses you want, Ingrid. If you don't pay the rent soon, you'll either end up in that crumbling colonial building on the corner or on the street, selling oranges at the San Telmo market. By the way, Julia told me you lost your job at the textile factory. You under some kind of can't work in one place for more than 3 months, curse or something, señorita?
Oh, you don't even want to know about the terrible things that happened in that factory. All I did was lend the oppressed workers a hand.
Bah, you're just like those college kids, full of hot air. Anyway, I am not here about the rent. Didn't you tell me to watch out for your letters a while back, when you just returned from abroad? Well, here it is, a letter for you.
Dios mío! Someone actually wrote back to me! This is incredible! Oh, thank you so much for bringing it to me, senor! Dear Miss Recoleta, it's from, let's see, Aleph.
Hey, I've been watching you. You're not local, are you? What are you writing?
Oh, hola. You're right. I just arrived in Buenos Aires 3 days ago. My trip's been a lot like a Copes tango performance, full of twists and turns, but nothing much worth telling, really. I'm actually writing a reply to my pen pal. Long story short, I sent him a manuscript of my novel, and to my surprise, he actually wrote back. Amazing, isn't it? In our recent letters, we've been discussing how my novel lacks a key character to drive the story toward a decisive ending. So we've been debating whether to introduce a new ghost to act as a turning point for the story.
Oh, so then you're a writer? Hey, Pancho, come over here. I found an actual real-life writer.
What's the big deal? I wrote plenty of poems in middle school.
Oh, so you're a poet. I have a feeling we're about to embark on an incredible adventure together. Are you interested in joining the visceral realism movement?
What? I've never heard of it, but it sounds like fun.
Fabuloso! We have no time to waste. Once I finish this letter, you two must join me on a journey to Ushuaia.
Ushuaia? The end of the world? Why the heck would we go to that icebox?
Oh, don't be such a downer, Pancho. Just think of the fun we'll have, the breathtaking scenery we'll see, and the incredible stories we'll hear.
Fine, Maria. I'll deal with the cold if you really want to go so badly.
By the way, could you tell us about your novel?
Of course. I'll tell you all about it on the way. Now where to begin? Alright, let's start with the cottage with the blue roof and Amalfitano. It's been 6 months since we first exchanged letters. Since then, I've been traveling. First from Chile to Mexico, then from Mexico to Argentina. And I've never stopped writing. I'm not really sure what the purpose of my novel is. I just keep writing and writing. I can't stop. What power does literature hold? What responsibilities? Perhaps only by continuing to write will I understand one day. Aleph, you're right. I do want an ending to my novel. But not like this.
You really have no idea, do you, Recoleta? The rise and fall of sanity is your story.
What do you mean?
You are a ghost, wandering this forsaken land, still striving to create a miracle. You are a wandering poet, born in Amalfitano, the foolishly brave protagonist of the story, and the embodiment of the author herself. A reflection, yes. The author, no. You are simply a figment of her imagination, a manifestation of her dream to wander. Have you not realized it? The literary pursuits and romantic adventures you described, they are merely faded memories from 1975. The poets who joined the visceral realism movement with you left Latin America long ago.
Faded memories?
As for the novel, it's yours now. A story you're writing. A story about yourself. Your departure has turned Amalfitano into a ghost town. The characters have lost their connection to you. They're gradually fading away. If the novel is destroyed, you too will cease to exist.
Wait, this is... Miss Recoleta? Is what he said true? I know you never lie, pen pal. In your first letter, you told me that a character's role in fate must be determined from the outset and consistently adhered to throughout the story. Reading the perspective and insights of a walking encyclopedia, having such a person be willing to share their thoughts at all was an exhilarating experience. I had never imagined my novel could develop in this way. Words could hardly describe how I felt in that moment. No one but you has ever understood the story of that town, let alone offered any revisions. Following your advice, I added the bank clerk, the dune piscator, the blind weaver, and the murdered donkey driver. Amalfitano was no longer an empty town with a single blue-roofed cottage. The new ghostly residents had begun to fill the skies over it. The story was finally reaching completion. I could feel that the ending was within reach. I became increasingly eager to meet my pen pal. I couldn't get the thought out of my mind. I wasn't sure what I would say to this Aleph. A simple thank you, perhaps, or maybe a discussion about the future of Amalfitano with its sole reader. Or maybe I'm no different from everyone else. Led up the garden path by fate. But even if I am a ghost, as you say, an incarnation of someone else, a fictional being, so what? My resolve will not waver, even if my existence is bound to fade away. Because this isn't what literature is supposed to be. You once told me there isn't an ounce of reality in fiction, only voids and glorified lies. Let me tell you this. Whether real or fictional, corporeal or intangible, I have accepted my existence. Now,
Let's put a stop to this, Aleph. The inmates aren't characters in my novel. They're people trapped in a prison, just as you are. By simulating my story here, you have made me into some kind of god, a guilty, false creator, a dictator of fate. I never wanted any of this.
¡La frecuencia perfecta! La admirable aleatoriedad del destino. Creo que lo he encontrado. La fuente del dado de Babilonia.
Las deudas de los muertos. Esas facturas. Todas han sido hechas trizas. ¡Ya no estoy atrapado!
Desde el día en que perdí la vista, nunca imaginé que la rueda giratoria volviera a girar.
En todo más allá could be found. En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más. Idealismo, juegos de fantasía. Nuestro adversario es el tiempo.
Are you a rat that remembers?
Más allá.
A new hypothesis.
En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más. Nuestro aliado es la verdad.
Victory? Okay, but what does it mean to us? Miss Recoleta has vanished. Did she really cease to exist like Aleph said?
Recoleta.
Qué sueño más extraño. El sabor de la realidad, tan amargo y triste. Pero lleno de pensamiento dialéctico. Tal vez la gente del panóptico reflejaba mis pensamientos internos. Entonces realmente soy un personaje en la novela. La misteriosa cabaña con el techo azul fue mi hogar todo el tiempo. Entonces, los rumores que los fantasmas propagaron eran realmente eso. Rumores.
Bienvenida de nuevo a Amalfitano, querida escritora.
Gracias, querido ícono del capitalismo. Pero, ¿no desgarré esta novela en pedazos?
Verás, Amalfitano es una dimensión más allá de la vida y la muerte. Este pueblo es un reflejo de tus pensamientos internos. Es incorpóreo. No puedes desgarrar algo incorpóreo en pedazos. La literatura es infinita y atemporal, como un río que fluye a través de la vida y la muerte.
No me extraña que seas mi personaje favorito. Nunca dejas de iluminarme.
Desafortunadamente, la literatura es una vocación peligrosa e inútil. Nadie entiende realmente, ni siquiera recuerda tu trabajo. ¿Recuerdas el dicho? Los únicos verdaderamente muertos son aquellos que han sido olvidados. Recoleta, desaparecerás para siempre si dejas a Amalfitano otra vez. Será como si nunca hubieras existido.
Siempre he admirado tu pensamiento crítico, señor. Encaja perfectamente con tu rol.
Todo estará bien, Recoleta. Lo que sea que haya pasado, ahora has regresado. Eso es lo que importa. El dado de Babilonia rodará de nuevo, y cada uno de nosotros obtendrá nuestros finales.
Así es. Resuelve el asesinato en el bar y pon mi alma en paz.
Libera al pueblo de la locura infligida por el antiguo espíritu.
Arregla la aleatoriedad del dado de Babilonia y aplana la frecuencia catastrófica.
Entonces, el final que he estado buscando es el que el otro yo no pudo darme. El yo que se lanzó de cabeza a la lucha contra un poder invencible. El yo que finalmente dejó esta tierra. Después de todo este tiempo, finalmente he encontrado mi final. Solo un lanzamiento más y todo habrá terminado. Mi historia, mi pueblo, todo finalmente llegará a su fin. Pero el sueño sobre el panóptico también terminará, ¿verdad?
Oh, cariño, es solo un sueño.
No me digas que estás abandonando tu búsqueda de toda la vida por un miserable sueño.
Este sueño es cruel. Nadie entiende esta gran novela ni este pueblo asombroso.
Pero aquí, eres una verdadera escritora. Este es tu hogar, Recoleta.
Pero ya extraño a mis amigos en ese sueño. Existe, así como este lugar existe.
Pero nosotros también somos tus amigos, Recoleta.
Podrías desaparecer si dejas a Amalfitano. ¿Estás segura de que quieres irte?
Sabéis cómo soy, queridos amigos. He pasado mi vida emprendiendo aventuras tontas y no recompensadas. Así soy yo, ¿verdad? Amalfitano es, en efecto, Un lugar ideal. Un lugar para vagar, para un viaje corto y para perderse un rato. Y tiene a ustedes, mis amigos ficticios, a quienes quiero tanto. Pero debo regresar a mi sueño y ver a mis amigos ahí. Ellos son igual de importantes para mí.
Sí, tienes razón, Recoleta. No se puede negar que eres un alma noble y apasionada. Cada uno de nosotros lo sabe.
También eres nuestra querida amiga. ¿Por qué te detendremos de hacer lo que realmente deseas?
Te deseamos lo mejor, Recoleta. Buenas noches, querida. Que tu sueño sea dulce esta vez.
Gracias a todos, mis amigos. Nunca los olvidaré.
I've read your work, Señorita Recoleta. To be frank, it lacks both depth and breadth. This town of yours is still far from reflecting the complexity of society, and the narrative lacks a discerning perspective. It still needs some work if you want it to truly resonate with our audience. Just go for it, Señorita. You're at a perfect age to explore, experience, and learn.
What's happening to me? Ah, of course. The rise and fall of sanity is my story. So, even though the novel's been destroyed, the story, and myself along with it, lives on in the minds of those who read it. Thank you for your feedback, editor. Even here in this great expanse of darkness, I can still hear your words. You have my gratitude. Thank you for reading my novel, even if you didn't understand it, and likely never will.
Honestly, I find your story totally fascinating, but I'm still struggling to understand the connections between all these nameless characters. Couldn't you make it clearer? Like a movie?
Typical. Trust a writer to try to be all obscure and mysterious.
Maria, Pancho, you guys are the best traveling pals I've ever had. Our paths may diverge in the future, but the joyful memories of our journey across grasslands, snowfields, and deserts together will remain forever.
It's been great coming along with you. You're totally one of a kind. We'll be waiting for you at my aunt's vineyard. A little sun after a hard day's work will do you good.
There is ambition in her writing. It's passionate and poetic, fractured and chaotic. But when viewed as a whole, her work feels like little more than a superficial illusion. It lacks the depth to truly touch the soul. I will refrain from offering further comments until she stops romanticizing her childish adventures.
To put it bluntly, her phraseology feels overly deliberate to the point of distortion. Her verbiage is like a collection of vague sentiment bubbles.
I see, Aleph. Then this is how you really feel about my novel?
1,000 readers will interpret a story 1,000 different ways. Some believe the text itself is dead, and it is the reader who gives it life. The truth cannot be fully conveyed through words alone. That said, I think The Rise and Fall of Sanity is a good story.
Oh, so the Eternal Paradise is a library of sorts, just like I always imagined. Or is this just another reflection of my inner thoughts? I like it here. It's nice being surrounded by literature. But it's time to go back to reality. You're right about literature, Dorside Beggar. It is a dangerous and futile calling, but I still believe in it.
Recoleta, you're back!
I'm so glad to see you're safe. And I'm so glad to see you two worried sick about me. Thanks, mis mejores amigas Soneto y Burton. See, Aleph? I still exist.
Amalfitano is gone. It's all over. You're simply a wandering ghost now, never to return home again. You may still exist, but Amalfitano will never get its ending. You've nullified its existence, rendering all of this meaningless. I'm sorry I couldn't answer your question. I've failed once again. Amalfitano and the Panopticon were two parts of a whole. With Amalfitano gone, Komala no longer has any reason to exist.
I'm sorry, Aleph. You, who know all the mysteries of the world, who seek answers to every question, have lost yourself in the process. You can answer everyone else's questions, but never your own. Who's the person behind that mask? Is he real? Does he still exist?
Who am I?
Stay vigilant, everyone. This is just like when the idealist and the physician had their meltdown. Only this time, it seems even worse.
I think Aleph is trying to tear down the Panopticon.
Freeze! Stay where you are. All of you.
Take a deep breath, soldier. The smoke's cleared now. This story, this battle, will soon come to an end. A writer has departed from her domain, leaving her creations scattered behind her, like blood-soaked bandages and fragmented skulls in the trenches. What a garbled mess. How wonderful for you. You know what? You should be the leader of the literature encryption communication team. Just arm yourself with a dictionary, and even enemies with 45 Maxim machine guns won't stand a chance against you. Because the poetry you recite will surely blow their minds before their bullets pierce yours. Well, it's all thanks to a certain writer, the embodiment of the wandering poet and traveler from Santiago to Buenos Aires. She impressed me with her precious experience as a cafe dishwasher and campground caretaker. What really rekindled my sense of humor was her seriousness about her literary pursuits. You'd understand what I mean if you'd ever heard a cheesy joke at a comrade's graveside. Drawing strength from her wanderings and rebellious exploits, she attempted to change society, wielding the sword of literature as a revolutionary intellectual and a leader of thought. Some would hail her as a battle angel of Latin America, with words as piercing as bullets and poems as powerful as tactical bombers. Many share your doubt, myself included. Here, come closer. Let me tell you a secret. Many, if not all people, foolishly think it's the executioner who drops the guillotine blade, the powder that fires the bullet. While they're half right, they're substantially inaccurate. Craters on the battlefield aren't the result of bombs, but a clashing of ideologies. A trigger pulled long before the powder ever ignited in the barrel. As for literature, well, it's probably best not to buy too much into the Latin American boom. Forget about the status report from earlier. That said, at least there's one thing that's certain. Books can bite back, and they'll leave scars.
I was just setting up my exhibit when everything started shaking. Then I realized it wasn't just my imagination. So I followed the cracks in the wall and found my way here. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but something's happening to the panopticon, isn't it? Are you the physician? Or is it Aleph? Whoever you are, please restore the panopticon to the way it was. I'm begging you. You can do that, right? Why aren't you doing anything, damn it? Why is this happening? Oh, the die. If you won't help me, then I'll do it myself.
Come
Calm down, Garcia.
Keep the sample. A good point. A new hypothesis.
Time to check my calculation.
No other study could show you this. Calculating distance. A good could be floating. Taking another look.
Using troops.
Timekeeper, he's...
Why is this happening to me? I was so close to completing the exhibition.
Can't you see, Garcia? There's no one controlling this place now. You're free. It isn't the dye that's trapped you, nor is it the walls of this prison. It's the rules and that overpowering gaze from the central tower. But now that's all gone. You can go outside. You can set up your exhibit anywhere you want. No need to stay stuck in this.
No, Señorita Recoleta. You've seen the world out there. You know as well as I that there's nowhere else I can go but here. This is the only place in the world where I can hold my exhibit. And you've ruined it. You've ruined everything.
This room's about to collapse. We've got to leave. Mr. Garcia, do you need a hand?
I can take care of myself, thank you. I'll go a different way. I have to go back and finish setting up my exhibit.
Burton, what about Aleph? We can't just leave him here.
Of course not. We still have questions he needs to answer. Sinetto, help me get him up. Let's get out of here.
Yes, Timekeeper.
Your words are always at odds with your thoughts. You carry an ocean of questions, yet never reveal even a single drop of them. Why have you never shared your doubts? Why do you stay silent in the face of everything and everyone around you?
I believe in my duty.
As for you, paracausality researcher, you're different from any other seeker of answers. Even on a desperate, near-hopeless journey, your heart holds little doubt.
Perhaps not every question needs an answer, Mr. Aleph.
Is that so?
Look, it's sinking. Corpses float on the planks, and the fleeing prisoners are swimming toward the shore. Time to abandon ship. One that was exiled to a desolate corner of the ocean by the resplendent civilized world. It's both a prison and a sanitarium. Are any of your friends aboard? If so, you might find the following report a little offensive. Dregs of society. Human scum. These are the terms used to describe its eccentric passengers. To be fair, they do lack discipline and independence. But that may well be a response to the heavy pain they've endured. Some theorists suggest that they're innocent victims, trapped in the confines between rationality and irrationality, defined and redefined by historians as they please. But let's ditch the theories and simplify things. The moment the shackle called madness was fastened around their necks, whether they were truly mentally ill or not, their lives were forever scarred. And now, the mad passengers are storming the shore. But one can gain immunity through controlled infection. The disease can become its own vaccine. Just be aware of the ignorant commander who defies a wandering lunatic in pursuit of a little knowledge. Let's dig deeper. Scavenge through the messy battlefield for dog tags. Were these people born mad? After watching the inhabitants of this earth tear each other apart in one war after another, I've concluded this. Only knowledge drives people to madness. Ignorance does not. Madness is a side effect of the sedative that is knowledge. As long as those on land continue to consume it, this ship will never be short on recruits. This is a war between madness and civilization. Both sides have leveled accusations, spilled blood, and pummeled each other. And soon, everyone will have leapt into the trenches and been beaten to a bloody pulp. Only a few can escape this fate. Check your six. The one leaning against the sunken ship, showing no signs of struggle or sorrow. Garcia. The seawater has flooded his windpipe and reddened his eyes. Yet there he is, staring blankly at the shore. He's in his home base. He holds no hope for forgiveness from his enemies. Not in the slightest. He's a one-man army, fighting only for himself. Alone. Now, do a 360 and look again. He's been utterly defeated.
Dear Erd, why are you so interested in the Panopticon of Kamala? Dear Mr. Aleph, whether as a doctor or a writer, I simply cannot turn a blind eye to the friction around me.
Especially the discord and injustice I have witnessed here in Kamala. So, I would ask of you a question. Is there any way to resolve the endless conflicts in this place?
To put an end to this, a true ending is required. Your arrival has made it possible for this simulation to have an ending, or rather, a victory.
What do you mean by victory? I'd appreciate it if you could clarify in simple terms. If this victory comes at the cost of any inmate's life, I'm afraid I cannot accept it. I also have another question for you. If I leave, will the stories and conflicts here come to an end?
Miss Grace of Manus Vindicte will grant you passage. But in any case, the cycle of history will continue to repeat itself in this prison, and in the entire world. The sins of humankind will not cease until veins turn to wires, flesh and bone to geometric shapes, and the world around us twists in the colors of an oil painting.
I must say, your words have left me rather baffled. Fragments of the events you describe often appear in my dreams. Could it be that these things really happened? If that's the case, why can't I recall the details? Why am I left with only disconnected pieces? The madness in Kamala, these bizarre dreams. I must put an end to them. What have I forgotten? Has someone or something altered my memory? I can't shake the feeling that something crucial to me has been lost in the river of time. Some kind of duty, perhaps. What should I do? How can I recapture what I have lost?
I won't answer a question that already has an answer, one given to you by the person who escorted you here and made you a promise. You're so close to the place where the truth lies. Think carefully. Why are you here?
These letters we found have answered a great deal. But there's still something that isn't clear. Mr. Aleph, what exactly did the Manus promise Dr. Dorez?
An era. A chance for her to remember her duty.
An era? You helped her leave the Panopticon in the end. Where did she go?
Southward. There, on the no-man's continent, Manus Vindictae is preparing to recreate the parable of the past and future. A glorious past and a glimmering future belonging to Arcanus. Dr. Dorez is deeply connected to this particular parable.
What exactly are the Manus planning to do in Antarctica? And why would Dr. Dorez go there voluntarily?
Mr. Aleph, when did Dr. Dorez depart?
It was a day when both the clouds and sun were visible.
A day when both the clouds and sun were visible. Could you be more specific?
Pacific? You mean the time of day?
When both clouds and the sun were visible. Hey, Vertin, I think I know. It was 3 days ago. Then Dr. Dorez wasn't going to Comala on the day I met her. She was leaving. She was headed to Antarctica. It was cloudy that afternoon, with a brief spell of sunshine, just like Aleph described.
Then it hasn't been long since she left. Excellent news.
3 days. If we set off immediately, we might still catch up to her. But, based on the intel we gathered in Ushuaia, Manus Vindictae bombed the entire port 3 days ago. Clearly, they wanted to prevent any interference from the Foundation. It's unlikely we'll find any functioning ships there. I'll report the situation to the Buenos Aires branch. Timekeeper, I'm afraid we'll have to find another way to get there.
I have a boat.
Could you lend it to us? The situation's urgent, Mr. Aleph.
This boat will automatically take you to McMurdo Port, the landing point Manus Vindicte established by the shores of the Ross Sea.
This looks like Manus technology. Its arcane energy source is highly unstable. Timekeeper, I suggest we wait for support in Ushuaia.
I don't usually agree with Soneto, but I have to admit, I don't have much confidence that a boat this small can actually make it to Antarctica.
Mr. Aleph, do you know anything about Manus Vindicte's ritual? How far has it progressed?
The ritual could begin at any moment. I believe that's why they left Kamala. Upon departure, one of their members, a woman named Grace, told me they would seal off the sea.
Are we too late?
If you wish to find Doris, you must follow the same path she took.
I see. Mr. Aleph, members of the Foundation branch will arrive soon to evaluate your condition. I hope you'll answer their questions with the same patience you showed us. Thank you. Soneto, let's go.
Yes, Timekeeper.
Thank you for your assistance too, Recoleta. Perhaps you'll consider joining the...
What was that? It came from the Panopticon. With Aleph's control gone, Kamala is collapsing. The inmates aren't even real criminals, are they? And they're still in there with no clue that they're no longer being watched from the central tower. We have to go tell them. We have to get them to safety.
Yes, we should help them get out, at least until support arrives. But the Manus ritual...
Don't worry. I'll go alone.
Huh?
You should hurry. When this is all over, I'll write to you, my dear friend. During this journey together, our teamwork has been impeccable. So, you can trust me to do this. I'm not doing it just to help you or the organization you represent. I'm doing it because the inmates are my friends.
Okay. I trust you. Take care of yourself, Recoleta.
But if the storm truly is imminent, as Dr. Merlin said, then, Miss Recoleta, you'll...
I don't quite understand what this storm is all about. But don't worry. A brand new adventure is the best thing that can happen to a writer. And I doubt it'll surpass the epic adventures we've shared over the past couple of days. I'm going to write everything, including the two of you, into my new novel. Then I'd like to be the first to read this new novel, if that's all right. Of course. Listen, I believe literature is like an endless, timeless river. So we'll meet again someday, somewhere, probably in someone else's story. Who knows? Adiós, mis queridos amigos.
Dr. Merlin. You're Dr. Merlin, right? I finally found you. What on earth happened in the central tower? Right after I left, the whole panopticon started collapsing. The tower's in ruin. I've been looking for you everywhere. Please, sir, come with me. It isn't safe.
That won't be necessary. The snow is still falling, yet everything in the labyrinth has already gone up in flames. Fortune, fate, karma, they're nothing but a ridiculous joke. It's over, Jaguar. You have lost your memories, your identity, your name, and now your title. You are no longer a jailer trapped in the panopticon.
I don't get it, Dr. Merlin. What are you talking about? I'm going back to Comala. Order must be maintained. The prisoners mustn't be allowed to escape. Please take care, Dr. Merlin. Hey, you! Don't run off like that. It's dangerous.
dream on death's straw pillow.
Stop! Get off me! Let me go! Are you blind? The panopticon is falling apart!
It's you, Roberta.
They are all mad! I knew it! They've been insane from the start! The whole place is burning to the ground and they still won't leave. They're still talking about things that no one cares about. I can't help them. I never understood what they were talking about. The rhythms, the factions, the ideologies. Yes, the people were nice. The idealists too, but I've had enough of this prison. I've had enough of the panopticon. Never should have joined these movements. It was all meaningless from the beginning. I want to leave this place, go to Spain or France, anywhere but here. I want to go back to Magdalena.
Yo te canto y por la libertad yo te canto. Nada podrá parar ni vencer mi ser.
But how does literature make you feel?
As though I'm a kid looking through a kaleidoscope for the first time. Well, maybe that's not the best way to put it. Perhaps something a little more subtle.
A ship sailing to an unfamiliar land. A parable of the past and future. An era that once existed and is yet to come. Is this the answer you've provided, Mr. Aleph?
No, Erd. You will have to find this answer yourself. No one can help you with this. No one.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Aleph. I will remember what you've told me. Raindrops are supposed to fall from the sky to the...